Let's talk about Leeds 2, Crystal Palace 0. I don't know if you watch any reality TV, Ray Parlour, ever.
Not if I had the choice.
Oh, well, that's fair enough.
I live with, obviously, 3 girls in my family, 2 daughters and my missus, and they love it.
Oh, okay. Any particular
I would go in
favourites?
another room, usually.
What do they watch? Towie? That sort of stuff?
No, I'll try and... I think that gives Essex people a bad name.
Really?
We're good guys. We're good people.
Some of them are as well.
No, they are. Look, and good luck to them. What they've done and how much money they're making by doing that. Then good luck to them.
All I was going to say was I do watch a lot of reality TV, but when I'm watching this reality TV, I do stop and have an out-of-body experience and think to myself, why am I watching this rubbish? And then I carry on watching it, and I just think, I wonder if Palace fans are like that. If they keep watching their team, and they'll always support their team, they're always devoted to their team. That's never in question. You can't change teams if you're a true fan. But they sometimes watch Palace and think to themselves, what exactly is going on here? Where are we heading? What's the plan? What's the aim? Where do we eventually want to be? Are we just going to keep on going through the motions? Nothing wrong with being a Premier League club. But when you see others, Leicester challenging for top 4, and I don't know, you see Leeds playing a certain way, and their fans have all bought into it, and they're all excited by it. And then you watch Crystal Palace, and they're kind of like, they're not doing badly. I'm not going to criticise Roy Hodgson, but they're literally just going through the motions, surviving in the Premier League. Even with the points they've got now, I think 30 points might be enough. I think they're on 29 at the Palace.
29,
so they're just about there in terms of survival. So that's not going to be a problem for them. And ultimately, board-wise, that's the aim. And that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But are the fans thinking to themselves, what exactly do we want to be, Crystal Palace?
I think they're realistic, the fans. I think that, the investment they had, they kept their best player, which was very important, Zaha. And I think they are where they are at the moment. 29 is where I think the Crystal Palace fans would expect to be. Look, of course, everybody wants to try and be in that top 6 and challenge a little bit higher, but I think they're realistic as well. I think they're a fantastic fan base, and they really get behind their team. And they look at the teams in the division, and it's tough to stay in the Premier League. So I think they're pretty happy. But the end of the season, it's a big decision now. Roy Hodgson's contract runs out. Where do the Palace go with that? Do they give him a new contract and be the same sort of team they are, or do they say, right, let's try take a little bit more of a gamble? Let's remember they took a gamble with Frank de Boer. And how long did that last?
Not very long.
And I don't think the fans want to go down that route again. So it's a tough. Is there lots of managers who want to go to Crystal Palace? Will they get the backing of the board and say, right, we're going to go and spend money now? I don't think they do. I think they live in the means of the club, which is very important. We've all seen clubs who go out and spend loads of money and suddenly it all goes wrong and then they're in a massive debt. I don't think they'll ever be like that, Palace, under the owners. But, as you rightly said, where are they going? For me, I would more or less concentrate on more cups and say, right, we're going to come mid-table. We're going to come just below mid-table every single season, or hopefully not be in a relegation battle. But let's try and get a good cup run. Because I can never work out. I know Premier League's so important and every position is worth money and whatever, but I can never work out when teams are safe, and they're going to be safe around that mid-table, and they start resting players for the FA Cup. Because I just don't get it.
Well, the amazing
it's an opportunity, and if you ask any fan out there, they would. I know we can't go and watch football at the moment, but they'd love a great FA Cup and get to semi-finals and quarter-finals.
Absolutely.
And get to a final at Wembley Stadium. It's one of the proudest moments for clubs, getting to finals of competitions. And I still scratch my head when people say, well, we're resting 6-7 players tonight, key players in big FA Cup games.
Well, I'm with you totally on that. And, they've been knocked out already. They were beaten by Wolves. And it was what you would say was not their first choice team that he played. Zaha came on late in the game. So, was the serious intention there to stay in the FA Cup? And think back in Palace's history. If you're a Palace fan of a certain age, say you're like, I don't know, 40-odd, 50-odd, what would you say is the best Palace
FA
game?
Cup win?
Well, it's the FA Cup semi-final against Liverpool, 4-3, when Pardew headed the winner late on. That's the game. It came after the 9-0 defeat at Anfield. They're the semi-final, beat Liverpool 4-3. Then the 3-3 in the final against United, and then they lost the replay 1-0. So they didn't even win the final, but the FA Cup has given them the most memorable moments. 2 big games there with plenty of goals, plenty of action, plenty of drama, and so many memories were made. So I make you absolutely right on that. But that's not even being taken seriously.
I can understand it a little bit more this season that you're resting players, because we know how quick the games come around, and it's been total, no rest for players. You're straight back into that first team. And Palace have not got a massive squad. And if you take 3 or 4 key players out, and they might, they play too much football, they could get injured, which we've seen. Look at Zaha, best player, not playing last night. And you can see what impact it had on their team. So I can understand managers were, they're saying, well, and it is the most important thing, staying in the Premier League. But I expect, with the squad they've got, Palace, to be in the Premier League most seasons.
Well, there's players.
Every season.
Players are coming to the end of their contract. Zaha might still be pushing for a move, as he has been in recent years as well. And you've got to remember that this is a very old Palace squad as well. Roy Hodgson has been on talkSPORT recently saying that he's relaxed about everything. He doesn't really need to have a big conversation about his future. But what is the future for Crystal Palace? You can't really knock what Roy Hodgson's doing, because he's doing the job he was asked to do, which is basically establish and maintain Crystal Palace in the Premier League. Well, that is happening. But what next for Crystal Palace? Because I was watching them last night thinking, what is there? Eze's a decent enough player. Probably might move on if he's going to be that good. But what else is there at Crystal Palace? What is this club all about? What is the identity?